Hey, how's it going? Today we're going to be talking about how to light with natural light. I think it's important to practice various lighting scenarios just to improve your overall knowledge with lighting. So today I filmed a 3-shot sequence of my friend David using nothing but natural lighting just for practice. And here is that sequence. Okay, let's get into it. Firstly, and most importantly, you'll want to shoot with a far side key light. And that basically means that your key light, or your main light, which in this case is the window, should be on the opposite side of your subject compared to where your camera is. So as you can see in this scenario, David's in the middle, the window's on one side, and the camera's on the opposite side of the window, resulting in us shooting towards the shadow side of David's face, which is going to help create a more cinematic image. By shooting towards the shadow side of the face, you're going to create a little bit of rim lighting, which allows the light to kind of wrap around your subject's face, which is quite cinematic as it helps bring out the three-dimensional elements of your subject. This is very important because film is a two-dimensional medium. You see it on a two-dimensional platform, just on your screen. Therefore, it's very important to utilize lighting to make your image stand out and look three-dimensional. You've also probably heard the term a flat image before, and you'll want to do your best to avoid this. There are some exceptions, of course, but today we're just gonna focus on avoiding getting flat images, because generally speaking, they're just not as interesting to look at. When you use far side lighting, you create a lot of depth in your image, which immediately makes it look a lot more cinematic and makes sure you don't capture a flat image. I love the look you get from shooting at a 45-degree angle, but feel free to experiment with a 90-degree angle or also the silhouette look. Speaking of a silhouette, let's talk about that first image of the sequence and why this works cinematically. Firstly, silhouettes are still created using a far side key light, just a more dramatic version of it. The only thing that's changing is the angle that the camera is shooting the subject from. Silhouettes create the most dramatic form of contrast possible in film. It's literally black and white, or light and dark, and that's just really pleasing to look at. Also, it creates a lot of mystery, which could be what you want or not, but that mystery will definitely entice your audience and draw them in further into your film. Okay, let's go through a couple of rules, kind of like guidelines real quick. You don't have to follow them all the time, but they're definitely good to keep in mind. So firstly, we're gonna talk about clipping. And that just means if you go too high or too dark and you have parts of your image that is pure black or pure white, and basically that creates lost information in your image. So firstly, with the shadows, make sure you're not clipping the shadows, because anything that is too dark, anything that is pure black will just become lost information in your shot. Now, it's a little more free and open with the highlights, in my opinion. You could expose for the highlights like I did in this scenario, which I think turned out quite well. However, you could also experiment with overexposing the highlights, especially if it's a sunny day. This is a stylized decision and totally up to you. Lastly, if you're shooting indoors, just make sure to turn off all the ceiling lights. They're kind of gross looking, bad color most of the time, and they come from this like top-down angle that we really don't like, creating weird shadows on your faces. They're never at a good angle. So yeah, just turn them off and use the window light completely. I just want to end this video by saying I'm definitely not an expert in lighting, very far from it. I'm just trying to learn as much as possible and then share what I've learned on this channel. So I hope you found this little video interesting, useful, and informative. And if you did, please leave a like, comment down below as well, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching, and see you later. We done. Yeah, no, my hair's a mess, that's why I had this.